Always something in this electronic world. It's just a part of it when we've gone to do it, but we've got much lower transaction costs, so we put up with it. Okay, we came in this morning. I came in this morning thinking that we would have resistance 15 to 20 and support 21, 2105. Turns out resistance was 10 to 15, and support ended up being 95 to 2100, so it was about 5 points below where I had estimated it. So the first trade that set up, if you didn't trade before the day session opened, was a mean green trade right here. And it just a beautiful trade. That's a limit sell, a tick inside that green line. And it came on the 936 Eastern bar, and that was a winner. Right here we had a retest failure and a couple of Bs. And we took this trade right up in here. Not sure we took that trade. I don't know if we took that trade or not. Can't remember. But anyway, this produced either one of these, you know, at least a scratch, and you could have had a winner if you'd gotten in off the retest failure. We get a 50%, this little white line, for those of you are new, it's a reference point. That's 50% retracement of the first average trading range. Then we go into chop right here, and there's no trade here. There is a trade here. There is no trade here. There is a trade off that S. There is no trade there. So you've got two losers if you blindly took the trades. Move, pause, move. Then the mark starts to kick in. We get a head and shoulders pattern up here. This one would have produced a loser. This one produced a nice winner. And winners here. Off this B, you had a winner. Off this B, you had a winner. Green trade. At least a scratch. Off this B, you had a winner. So we had three losers over here, and we've got it in the chop. And the reason that you have losers over here is that the B and the S really are when the market's moving. It's a trending. It's a trending indicator. And if you use a trending indicator in a bracketed condition, then you're going to get in trouble. So how do you get around that, that particular situation? Well, you got your reference points. When you come in, you can see that this is resistance. You can see that this is resistance. And you can see that this might be resistance. So you got 3 points right here. So there isn't a trade here. We've had this first thrust down, so you really are thinking in terms of being a seller. It's this low right here. And so on a 50% retracement trade right here, you could have gotten in. On this S, you could have gotten in. Your stop had to be 3 to 5 ticks above that bar's high. Depending on where your stop was, you survived that for a small winner, you had a loser. So move, pause, move. And the problem, I had a person ask me, is there any way we can eliminate in these congestion areas? And I think probably the only way that you can eliminate this is to increase your time frame. Thinking about it a little bit, I never thought about that before, because I'm looking at the F2 screen for my directional input, etc. So I think looking at a different time frame might be the quick solution, because you can see they are really, really consistent. And we've talked about, for the people coming in the room, this 15-minute time frame really is the best time frame for trading if you're going to use this chart right here. I use the F1, 2, and 4 chart, but I'm executing on the 4 chart. The direction comes from here. I think on this 15-minute chart, Robert, that you might be able to get the answer to your problem. Okay? Beautiful retest failure right down here. Great trade. You're in the 99 area. The market trades up to 07. So this 15-minute chart gives you a legitimate shot at 7 to 10 point moves. So maybe that's the solution. Let me take a look at a 30-minute chart. Which, now, one of the things that I learned a long time ago is that it's the taking out of a 30-minute bar's high or low that really gives you the great big trade. It doesn't happen on every bar, though, and that's really, 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 it can be disappointing. So right here, we break this 30-minute bar's low right there. We break that 30 minutes bar low. We take out that 30-minute bar high. So this 15-minute or 30-minute chart, if you're still there, Robert, might be the answer. So I had to think about that a little bit. But remember, my decision process comes from F1 to F2, and then I execute on F4. So I already come into this knowing that I want to be long or short. So that's probably, and when you first come in the room and you're looking at these charts, you think this chart is the ultimate solution to everything, and it's got a lot of great information on it, but we are discretionary traders, and you might not like that. So anyway, if you go back and play with those two time frames, Robert, I think the answer could be okay. And John, I will be talking to Dell, if not today, tomorrow, probably late this afternoon. So anyway, we had a pretty good day, all things considered, and when you get in these congestion areas like this, they're choppy. The retest failure is your bracket trade. The S or the B is when the market is moving trade, okay? And there isn't any algorithm or there isn't any one formula out there that's going to where you get all the ifs, ands, and buts and all the other things in one algorithm. That's have an outside day today, and that usually means trading range. And that might be the case. Tomorrow we have the ADP employment number. I've seen 220 to 230. That seems to be the default number now. Friday we have the non-farm payroll numbers. And Friday's number tends to hold us in a range. Tomorrow we also have the beige book where you'll get a read on the Fed's take for the 12 federal regions, how good business is in those regions. So we got a buyer below 2100 and we've got a seller above 2115, and we happen to be at 21,650 right now, kind of right in the middle. So we have the ADP number tomorrow. Look at it, but right now it looks like 225 is where the number's going to fall out. Got ISM services at 56.5, and we'll adjust those tomorrow. And this number does not correlate very well with Friday's number, or didn't used to until they changed their formula. And this ISM services number could come in higher than forecast. The ISM manufacturing number came in lower than forecast. So that's where we are. So if we're to close the market right now, our sell's 9 to 11, then 14 to 16, we'll play for a trading range. Now, one of the things that happens when you take a look at this, if the market's in a trading range, what happens? They go a little bit higher, they get the stops, then they bring it down, then they go a little bit lower to get the stops. So because we're in a trading range, I think we have a pretty good chance tomorrow to sell a little bit higher than we are right now, assuming we close right here. We've got a potential move out of the middle here in M period. So that's the way that we will play for tomorrow. On the buy side, we'll 21.02 and 95 to 97. Okay, the selling in the note And the bond continued this afternoon, which leads me to believe that that would be somewhat supportive for the indexes tomorrow. So the 9 to 11 is probably pretty good for Globex, but we'll take a look at it before we start in the morning. Lower high, lower low, we're sellers in the note. Is that confirmed by the F2 screen? And you can see we have a B pattern right here. We put these three distributions together. We've got a B pattern, and we have a move that came out of the middle in J area, started to move down. So we're sellers like we were this morning. We're currently at 27, so last rotate up stopped at 29, so 29 to 01, sell 1. 3 to 7, sell 2. Buy side, we're going to open it up, 21 to 17. It depends on what goes on in the E-mini, and then 9 to 13, and we'll adjust those in the morning. Also. Now, I talk about with each of us, and I talk in the room a lot about trading off the F4 screen and how it solves a lot of problems. And it's a great way to get started, but you can really improve your bottom line if you're trading directionally. And, you know, if you can get the 3-minute, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the hourly, the daily, the weekly, all pointed in the same direction, that's a pretty strong trade. But if every one of those time frames is pointing a different direction, then you're pretty much in chop. And the market, the time frame that's going to go to chop faster, but can get you closer to the edges, are the shorter time frames. And the issue is always noise versus you know, what's the real move. And sometimes that's hard to discern. And I think the easiest way to see that is just to go to the profile. Okay, we had a P this morning. We had a buying. We got up here and we talked about this two-letter ledge. These two-letter ledges are important, and leaning against those usually provides a pretty good trade. So right here, if you leaned against the overnight session high, you were short at 24. Gave you a hell of a trade. You could stay with it this morning off the opening, leaning against the buck. You got a pretty good trade too. And we didn't know if it was a 29 to 01 or a 25 to 29 buy this morning, but we thought we would have a pause day and the market would come up, and that gave a good trade. So last rotate up stopped at 04. We're currently at 30, so 59, selling failure to take out 59 even. 4 will be the first trade, and then you have a rotate up to 9, so 7 to 11 will be the second. And we should go lower. So we're going to have support in this 20 to 24 area. It's going to be buy 1. And if even he's rallying with some strength, we're not going to get long 20 to 24. And then 12 to 16 is going to be buy 2. Okay, for those of you that are new, when you don't have any volume or any structure, you've got to go with market numbers. And I don't want to do it on this tape, but if you don't know what a market number is, let's talk about it tomorrow after 10 o'clock. Okay, make a note to yourself to tell me to do that tomorrow. Okay, gold. I think we're looking at a similar situation. I think central bank selling is going to take lower. They don't like to get accused of printing money, and this 95, 97 area always attractive because it's an attractor. It's a high volume number, and we're at 1202. So on the assumption we can get through 1202 and retest this leg down there, let's make buy 95 to 97. But we'll put a question mark at 12. And then 90 plus or minus 2. 90 plus or minus 1 for buy 2. We are rejecting prices below 1200, so if we can't bust the 1200 area, then we should trade up. So 9 11 sell 1, and then 13 to 15 sell 2, where we were today, and we've got to get through 4 5, so we'll put a question mark. For those of you that are going to trade London, if we come up and we can't get through 4 5, hit it and see if we can take out 1200, okay? Hit the bits. And we did pretty well in gold today. We caught the edges. Okay, crude oil. Okay, tomorrow, let's see, it's Wednesday, so we'll have the APIs out tonight, and if they show a build, which they probably will, every producer in America, I love these headlines, American production still at record levels, even though the price is low. Hell yes, it's at record levels because they need cash flow to keep their doors open. And it doesn't matter if they're selling that stuff for loss. It's the cash I can bring in off those sales to keep my creditors at bay. People don't understand that. You know, if copper's been selling for $1 a pound and you're a dictator in the Congo and it's only selling for a dime a pound, try to figure out ways to increase your copper production to get a dime a pound. And most people that write this stuff don't understand that at all. And that's where we are. So 50, 75, 51, sell 1. That's where resistance is. Getting stops up here, so above the current highs, 51 and a quarter, 51.50, sell 2. On the buy side, we'll make it 50 to 75. Play for the bottom of value, and then 49, 49 and a quarter. For those of you that are new to the trading game, we all get into it. We read a book. We've been successful at whatever it is that we do, so we've accumulated capital where we can even consider trading. And it sounds deceptively easy. All you have to do is take every trade, and this system will generate bucks for you. But the trick is taking every trade, and that's very, very difficult to do. You don't feel, well, it won't feel right. Yeah, I want more information, something like that. So you become selective in your trading, and then you go back and look at what you've got there, and you say, God, if I just taken every trade, I would be a happy camper, but I can't take every trade. So I'm going to get a computerized system that'll take every trade for me. And computerized, you can build very, very effective trade bots. If you're prepared to say bracketed market conditions or trending market conditions. That's the same problem you have with our S and our B and with our retest failure trade. It's the same problem you have with every technical analysis study out there. RSI, Commodity Channel Index, stochastics is for bracketed markets. Moving averages, MACD, parabolic, I don't even know what all those studies are for trending markets. So if you can say, if you're prepared to say trending or bracketed, you'll do quite well if your calls for the market are right. And if you're not prepared to do that, or if you can't recognize the difference, then you got some work to do. Okay, sell one's 1200 plus or minus. The second one will be at our 20 to 30. Might have to come a little bit inside that, 15 to 25. On the buy side, we were hoping to buy 60s, so we'll make 60 to 70 buy 1. And 40 to 50 buy 2. I really think any long you take should be covering a short in this contract. So I don't really like the long side at all. Got a lot more time to deal with a short, especially if you're a beginning trader and underwater and you don't want to lose money. And that's not a recommended trading strategy. Folks, been a great day. See you bright and early in the morning, 6:40 Central. Y'all take care.